Good afternoon, Southwest Florida. I'm Bri Walling. This Naples Herald Lunch Break is sponsored by our friends at Fusillo Kia of Cape Coral. This afternoon, we'll tell you about the FWC announcing that anglers will not be frying up their Goliath Grouper catch, intriguing information that may have played a role in the latest denuclearization pact between the Koreas, and more. Today is Friday, April 27th, and this is the Lunch Break. There will be no fishing for Goliath Grouper in Florida this year, at least not for keeps. The decision was made Tuesday by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission after a Thursday meeting in Fort Lauderdale when they decided not to open up the waters to catching the massive fish. Since going under federal and state protection in 1990, the population of the Goliath Grouper has rebounded. Anglers complained to the point of becoming a nuisance and stealing fish off their lines. But after an almost uniformly negative public period, FWC said no to allowing a harvest. The Tampa Bay Times reports that 55 of the 56 speakers in Fort Lauderdale were there to speak in opposition. Current laws allow for the fish to be caught on a catch and release basis, but they cannot be kept. After decades of whispers, lawsuits, investigations, and close calls, Bill Cosby could be headed to prison at the ripe age of 80 for the rest of his life, in a verdict seen as vindication by a multitude of women who doubted anyone would ever believe their word against that of Dr. Huxtable. The comedian was convicted Thursday of drugging and molesting Temple University employee Andrea Constand at his suburban Philadelphia mansion in January of 2004. Women's advocates called the verdict a turning point in the Me Too movement that proved what Cosby's accusers had been saying all along, that his nice guy image was a sham. The verdict in the first big celebrity trial of the Me Too era sealed the spectacular late-in-life downfall of an entertainer who broke racial barriers in Hollywood on his way to TV stardom. It was the only criminal case to arise from a barrage of allegations from more than 60 women who said Cosby drugged and molested them over 5 decades, but whose stories were often disbelieved or ignored years before Me Too put a spotlight on sexual misconduct by powerful men. He's out on a $1 million bail while he awaits sentencing, but is restricted to Montgomery County. Cosby was convicted of 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault, each carrying a standard sentence of 5 to 10 years in prison. The counts are likely to be merged for sentencing purposes, but given Cosby's age, even a modest term could mean he will be spending his remaining days behind bars. Research by Chinese geologists suggests the mountain above North Korea's main nuclear test site has likely collapsed, rendering it unsafe for further testing and requiring it be monitored for any leaking radiation. The findings by Chinese scientists may shed new light on North Korean President Kim Jong-un's announcement that his country was ceasing its testing program ahead of the planned summit meetings with South Korea and the U.S. Nuclear explosions release enormous amounts of heat and energy, and the North's latest test in September was believed early on to have rendered the site unstable. The data in the latest study was collected following the most powerful of North Korea's 6 nuclear device tests on September 3rd, which is believed to have triggered 4 earthquakes over the following weeks. The yield of the bomb was estimated at more than 100 kilotons of TNT, at least 10 times stronger than anything the North had previously tested. For reference, the bomb the U.S. dropped on Hiroshima in 1945 had a yield of about 15 kilotons. North Korea's nuclear tests are of special concern to Beijing, since the test site is less than 60 miles from the Chinese border and has caused seismic events in bordering towns and cities. It's also forced evacuations of schools and offices, sparked fears of radiation, and led to a backlash among some Chinese against their country's unpredictable traditional ally. And that was a lunch break for today. I'm Bri Walling. For your twice daily news fix, head over to the Naples Herald YouTube channel and subscribe. Leave us a comment to let us know your thoughts on the news or what you'd like to hear about. The lunch break airs Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. right here at naplesherald.com. And don't forget to check out our morning report that also airs Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.